and pick up some chairs from Chippewa.
Oh, yeah. That's fantastic. How about that?
All right, hang on for a minute. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on and joining us today. I am so excited to be joined by the folks at Camp Poyntelle. I've got our camp director, Tom Troche, who's actually someone I've known for many, many years in the camping industry. And we're also joined by Adam from Camp Poyntelle. For those who don't know, my name is Alan Perry, or you can call me Snowy. It's my camp nickname. I am the Australian and New Zealand Director of Camp Counselors USA, and I'm really excited to jump on in another round of our amazing camp chats. Thanks for joining us from the East Coast of the United States, Adam and Tom. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Thank you so much for inviting us and having us be doing this live stream with you. We appreciate it.
Look, my pleasure, my pleasure. Well, look, tell us a bit about both of you guys. How did you get involved in camping? And then tell us a little bit about Camp Poyntelle.
Sure. I will start. I got into camping by accident. A whole bunch of other friends were doing it and invited me to go on an interview. And 30 years later, I'm still doing camp. I was at another camp for 25 years as the director, had an amazing experience. But this past year, I transitioned to Camp Poyntelle, and I couldn't be happier. I never felt more welcome. And just, it was such a positive, amazing summer. 3 days in, I felt like I knew these kids, for forever. So looking forward to build on that. One of the other things, as Snowy was saying, I do know Snowy for a while. I've been to Australia many times, over 20 times to recruit staff, and I'm very excited to bring the Australian staff to Camp Poyntelle and show Camp Poyntelle what you guys have to offer us. Excellent.
And Adam, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I will say that from all of us here at camp, we are glad to have Tom join the fold. I grew up at Poyntelle myself, so I've been here for a little over 20 years as camper, staff, program director, and now full-time associate director. And it is fantastic to see camp progress through the years and to be able to have some new faces, some new blood, and hopefully some new ideas.
That's amazing. Well, look, we're excited to help get you some more Aussies and Kiwis to come and grace your shores of the lake next year. So that's great. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about Camp Poyntelle? How long have you been around for? What sort of length of time do the kids come to camp? What's the age group? So tell us a little bit about camp.
Sure. I'm gonna first start off with telling you guys, a virtual presentation is not my forte. I'm used to being in Australia in person, meeting you guys, telling you all about camp. So if there's any technical glitches, don't worry about that. My forte is really giving you guys and our campers the best American summer camp experience that you can have. So I just like to put that out there to start. Camp Poyntelle has been around since 1948. It's got great traditions and a great history in that 75 years. Camp Poyntelle is what they call a Jewish traditional camp. The Jewish aspect of camp, just so that you know, about 95% of our campers are Jewish, but probably about 90% of our staff are not Jewish. So really, that is not a concern for you. As long as you're welcoming to learning new things and just hearing other things, it's great. It's really not a part of camp that will be tough for you in any way, shape, or form. And I will share with you that I am not Jewish as well, so I'm still learning some of those things. So just wanted to put that part right off the bat. We are a camp that has, this past summer, we had 220 campers. This coming summer, we're going to have 250 campers, and they can come either for the first 4 weeks or they can come for a full 7 weeks. We have about 120, staff, and that's everything from, nurses to maintenance to counselors, and they are all from around the world. You will all come for, varying lengths of time, anywhere from 9 weeks or more, depending on your schedule, position, and just how much time you'd like to sort of spend at camp. And just the traditional part of our camp, it means just that we don't specialize in any one thing. We like to give the kids an equal experience across the board, whether it be sports, arts, adventure, waterfront, just you name it. We want to give them a little bit of everything, and let them decide what they would like to pursue a little bit more of or less of.
Excellent, excellent. So what's the age group not typically of the kids that come to Camp Poyntelle?
So our campers are from ages 8 to 15. So basically from entering 3rd grade to entering 11th grade. And the entering 3rd to entering 10th graders are regular campers. And then we have a very cool program for campers that are entering 11th grade, which is a leader in training. And, this way they get to kind of be in front of the kids and sharing their experiences that they've had at camp and learning how to be a counselor for the following year.
Excellent. Now, as a co-ed camp, tell us a little bit about, how does classes interact? Are they co-ed classes? Are they single sex? I'm assuming camp does a lot of activities all together. How does it work?
Adam, you wanna share?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a variety, certainly all the traditional activities you see at any camp. And we try to really tailor the daily program to those age groups. So getting all of our campers down to the waterfront is a big deal for us. We have a 71-acre private lake. It's gorgeous, and it is a huge part of our program, and that's a big co-ed tradition as well down there. On the other hand, if we're bringing campers onto the field for some American football, we are not going to necessarily put 15-year-old boys with 12-year-old girls. So that will of course be separate. We're a very as Tom is saying, a very traditional camp, but we're also we have a strong tradition recently of wellness programs, where we're trying to be low key and intentional and mindful with our activities. So those are going to be elements that we weave throughout the summer as well, which may or may not be co-ed depending on the schedule, as we all know.
Definitely. So the staff that you hire could be teaching boys and could be teaching girls. So
yes, they should go in thinking that the majority of staff are working with both genders.
Excellent. And now are they all going to be living in a cabin? So will they have a co-counselor and a group of kids in their cabin? And what's the bunk kind of look like?
Sure. So traditionally, most of the cabins have approximately 10 campers in them, and there are either 3 or 4 counselors in that cabin. Usually at least one of those counselors is what we would call a general counselor, and they kind of take the kids around to all the different activities. They participate in them with them. They help to run them. But then the other counselors that are living in those cabins are specialist counselors. So you might have a tennis counselor in there, and you might have a waterfront counselor in there, and they all share some of the responsibilities in the cabin, like making sure the kids are getting up in the morning and getting dressed and keeping their cabins clean and that kind of stuff. So the majority of our staff do live in the cabins with the campers. There are a certain number of head specialists that might run a specific area that might not live with the kids because they have more setup to do, or just other responsibilities that will take them away too much from the kids.
Excellent. I'm just going to jump on. I'm just going to share our screen just so for those that may not have been able to jump on and check out the website that we put together for camp. Definitely, I'll pop that link in the chat shortly. But obviously the links are right there to camp and a little bit about the camp. So you hire males and females, minimum age of 18. You've got an arrivals date of June 15th till the 14th of August. So obviously, I'm assuming the 15th will be staff training before then you sort of jump in and all the kids rock up to camp.
Right. So we will hire a certain number of staff that will arrive before June 15th, some to do a waterfront training or a ropes training or an archery training, or even some staff that might just have extra time and want to help come and help get camp set up. So there are some that do start before that time. But then, yes, we have the entire staff there for a 1-week orientation to learn all about the program and how we do things, and to just get you as prepared as we can before the kids show up.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think, you're definitely not arriving and flying in blind and saying, here's your kids, jump into it. Yeah, no, staff training is, full on, but it's, you definitely come out at the other end feeling like you're ready to take on the world. And even though I must admit, even my first summer at camp, I had butterflies that first day sitting in my cabin waiting for my first group of kids to turn up. You have that nerves, but it normally goes pretty quick. So Definitely. Now, for those that don't know, we do have a little map up here. So I'm actually just going to zoom out a little to kind of let you know whereabouts you might be looking at Camp Poyntelle. So you're right up near the border of into New York. Tell me, so how far out are you from, say, New York City? You know, what sort of travel time is it for there?
We're approximately about 3.5 hours to get to New York City. So that is, that's a destination that some of our staff go to before camp and after camp and that kind of stuff. There are other local areas, Scranton and some other areas where they can do like day off things that they'll be able to go to. So smaller cities, basically.
Definitely. Well, actually, that's a good question. You know, obviously, we're all going to camp for the kids and having that experience, but it's always nice to have a little bit of a break. Tell us what the time off policy is at Camp Poyntelle.
Traditionally, you're going to get a couple of evenings each week where you're off from approximately 9 o'clock to about midnight after your bunk responsibilities are done. And then you're going to get, one full day off each week as well, where you'll have the opportunity to really go out and explore the local areas.
Definitely. And does camp sort of help organize some events for your days off and getting off camp property?
Yeah, so we do help provide transportation for you guys. We'll have buses and some will be set before you ever get to camp, so that because we know kind of the spots that everybody likes to go, and some we'll get some input from our staff, seeing what they're looking to do on their time off. So we want them to enjoy it and do the things that they want to do, but we're definitely helpful with getting on and off camp.
Awesome. So let's jump back into the activities that you do at camp. I know sometimes we'll get people calling us going, oh, but I've never taught before. I feel, I can do the activity, but I've never taught. How am I going to do this at camp? Is that going to be okay? Tell us a little bit about what you hire for, Tom, and maybe some hints on when you are going to be interviewing for our Saturday week on the 5th of November. Maybe give away some little tidbits on how they can win you over to come work at Poyntelle.
Sure. We're looking for good people that like to smile and like to nurture and help out the kids. I mean, that's first and foremost in what we're looking for. We want people that have a background or a passion in an activity so that they can help teach that activity to the kids and pass along their passion. Like, I love basketball. I'd love to help teach kids basketball. And I have no problem doing that. But, I like baseball, but, I wouldn't enjoy doing that all summer long. So we're looking for things that you have a good, strong background in that you want to, pass your knowledge on or pass your skill or your expertise. And you don't have to worry. There are head specialists in charge of every activity area. So if you're a tennis counselor, a program will be written for you by the head specialist. So, and it'll take your input on what your strengths are and, and help you to be able to do those things at camp. So you don't have to have teaching experience. Obviously, if you have some teaching experience, that's going to be helpful to you. But, we will help you with that part.
Definitely. And look, and certainly, besides the general counselor role, you're hiring in arts and crafts, a variety of different sports. Obviously, you look for teachers or childcare and digital imaging or digital media, some skateboarding, whitewater kayaking, mountain biking, fitness, gymnastics, outdoor adventure, so performing arts, climbing, archery, and then waterfront, along with culinary arts and everything else. So definitely sounds like you've got a nice, good cross section.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I do. I've been going to Australia and New Zealand for many, many years because we love what those staff members bring. We love your passion for the water as well. I'm not going to lie. We are always looking for good lifeguards, boat drivers, sailing instructors, and that kind of stuff to pass along your passion. We also can train people how to do outdoor adventure. If you've done some abseiling or climbing or that kind of stuff, we can put you through certification classes. But we're as I said earlier, we're equal across the board when it comes to sports, arts, adventure, and waterfront. So, let us know what you do. And, maybe that is something that we are able to also integrate if we're not currently doing it.
Yeah, definitely. With that, what's a typical day going to look like for us? And then, tell us a little bit about, the dining hall and the food, that's always a big one, especially for me. I like my chocolate chip cookies, so it's fine.
all we do is eat. That I will promise you. Adam, you wanna jump onto that?
Sure. So, three square meals a day, of course, and our dining hall is big and it's noisy and echoey and it's full of laughter and certainly yelling. The meals are all very kid-friendly meals. The items served are always going to be ones that we can make sure everyone is totally fine with. We're a nut-free and sesame-free environment. We are able to handle any and all diets or special or allergies, special dietary needs under the sun. We've seen them all. In fact, I can remember back a few years, we actually had a member from Australia, staff member from Australia, who was both gluten-free and vegan. So even for her, we were totally able to handle it. We do an afternoon snack, an evening snack. As Tom says, you will be well fed at camp. I will say that we bring to camp a lot of folks who are looking for options that will enable them to work out or be able to live their best lives outside of their normal responsibilities, and that's also stuff we have on our salad bars and other options in the dining hall as well. So 110%, super easy. We have 6 activity periods.
Before you, let me interrupt for 1 second. One of the coolest things that I experienced this past summer at Poyntelle in the dining hall is at the very end of every meal, they play music. It's kind of tells the kids it's time to start cleaning up and getting ready. And I can't tell you how many days, this is not my thing and stuff like that, but how many days it turns into dance parties where all the kids are dancing and potentially singing the song and stuff like that. I had never seen it, and it really is just a great interaction, a great way to to end a meal. Not you don't do that every single day, but that was cool to see. Sorry, Adam.
We will unironically play Footloose occasionally. Absolutely. I realize that's a dated reference, but yeah, no, I mean the meals typically kind of bookmark the day. So we have 3 morning activity periods between breakfast and lunch, and 3 afternoon activity periods between lunch and dinner. And then we'll wrap up the day with some social time and evening program. And by then, having been very active for the entirety of the day, those youngest kids, especially by 9:15, are falling asleep anyway. So we're getting them back to the bunks. A very kind of traditional and intentional program overall, where we're really trying to get the campers to rotate through all the activity offerings at camp in the morning, and offer a healthy dose of electives in the afternoon, which will build on the morning program, but also allow us to introduce some alternative programming. So even if we have a staff member who comes to camp as, say, a lifeguard, when they want to kind of exercise their skills in something else, we have an outlet to do that. So it can be very, very individualistic in terms of the experience.
Another cool part just with that is the afternoon activities that are choiced for the kids. We try and we don't want everything completely structured for them. We in the past, and we'll look at new things in the future, but we've had a dog walking program or the kids washing the dogs or just like a reading program in the shade and different things like that. So even if you have a skill of juggling or something else, those are cool things that the kids would like to learn. So not only your major passions, but some of your other passions can be pushed toward the kids as well.
Excellent. Well, we don't get the handle on baseball, so maybe some of our kids can come and show you how to play cricket or netball or even some rugby union. I know our Kiwis love to rub it in. They're way better than we are in Australia, so it's fine. Tom, while we're talking, I know you mentioned that you had a couple of videos you wanted to share with us. So did you want to jump on and see how you can go with sharing those to see how we can get those and show everyone a little bit about camp?
And remember what I told you guys, this may not be my forte, okay? So hold on 1 second, but you can't start for you guys without doing this.
Tom.
Yes?
Oh, we can't see the screen.
Oh, I thought I was sharing it. I'm so sorry. All right, hold on 1 second. Why? Oh man. Oh, sorry. Here we go. I forgot to actually hit share the screen. 1 second, let me start this over. You know, as Adam said, you know, we have a 71 acre lake. It is the largest lake, camp lake in Wayne County, Pennsylvania, which is where there are a ton of camps and stuff. So we're very proud of that. And we have an amazing inflatable water park there. We have, you know, motorboats, sailboats, canoes, kayaks, paddle boards. We have a swimming pool, which will be heated for next summer. So a lot of great things, you know, for you guys to get involved with and to enjoy, you know, yourself as well.
Excellent.
Let me do one more if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Here's one more for you.
When I first came to camp and saw the OA course, I was super duper excited. Outdoor adventure is so fun. The high race course is really cool. I love outdoor adventure. It's amazing.
The kids love it. The minute they got here, there was so much excitement. They love the new challenges. They love the independence of it all.
It's really tall. Like, it's huge.
It's so much fun because, like, I got over my fear of heights. We take it day by day. Every time they come to OA, we try to reach a new goal, and they set it for themselves.
I love when you go mountain biking. It's very fun to challenge yourself.
We've had multiple
Sorry about that.
kids just this summer learn how to ride a bike for the first time.
I also like nature. The nature specialist is really, really cool. There's archery, which is also a very good challenge. Whenever I see one of my other friends stuck, I can always see an OA staff member trying to push them to their limits, just so they can feel really accomplished and good about themselves.
These kids walk around with so much confidence after they reach that goal. They have stories to tell their friends, their bunkmates, their parents about what they accomplished here. And most of that, I'm proud to say, is accomplished at Outdoor Adventure.
You know, if you can't get excited with the waterfront and the outdoor adventure, we still have sports and arts for you guys to get excited about. But these are some pretty cool things that we really take great pride in. Did I lose Snowy? I may have.
Yeah, it looks like we
That's fine.
froze a little bit there.
Okay. All right, no problem. We lost Snowy for a couple of seconds. He will obviously come back on. You know, I know one of the things that Snowy wanted us to share really was, you know, what we're looking for in staff members and, you know, and how to become a part of the Poyntelle team. You know, there's 3 qualities that we look for in our staff. And if you have these 3 qualities, you will do amazing at camp. We can't just give them to you, but we can role model them for you. But we are looking for staff that have integrity. You know, our definition of integrity is just doing the right thing when no one's looking. So if I'm watching you and you're teaching tennis and you're doing great, that's awesome. But what's even better is when I'm at the waterfront and I could say, oh, I don't have to worry about tennis. Lily's there, you know, and I know that she's going to be handling, you know, everything the way that she should. So that would be, you know, the integrity part. We're looking for people that understand kids first. You know, this is not 100% about your experience. It's going to be one of the best experiences you ever have in your life, but you're going to get even more enjoyment by putting these kids' needs in front of your own and helping them build skills every day and just accomplish so many things. You know, and whenever you need help, you just let us know about that. And the third thing that we're looking for in our staff is just being the best. you know, and it's not about being better than other camps or better than other staff members or any of that kind of stuff, but it's about being the best staff member you can be. If you, when you put your head on your pillow at night, if you could say that you gave the best to the kids, the best to the staff, and best to camp, we can't ask you for anything more. All I can say is, you know, do me a favor, do it again tomorrow, even if tomorrow's best looks different, you know, from what today's best would be. But if you have those three core values, you're going to do great at camp, and it's going to be a match made in heaven.
Amazing. Sorry about that. We had a technical issue and I just dropped out and came back. So it's all good.
I just figured I'd let them know what we are looking for in our staff members. So
absolutely. And look, and for those people that are really keen on having an interview with Tom, we are going to be doing a virtual job fair on Saturday morning, the 5th of November. So really easy to jump on and have an interview with Tom. All I need you guys to do is go to ccusa.com.au or ccusa.co.nz. Click on that big apply button, and that's where you can then start your application for Camp Counselors USA. Jump on, answer those questions there. Definitely reach out. You're able to book a quick call with our office, and we're able to talk you through the next stages so we can get you locked in with an interview with Tom. The great thing about these special days where you can have an interview is Tom's going to interview you right there and then on the spot and let you know if you're coming to work at Poyntelle. So, you know, you get hired right on the spot. And that's the most amazing thing about it, is that, you know, you'll be able to get everything sorted all in one day. So nice and simple and nice and easy. And Tom's been doing that for many, many years and hiring great Aussies and Kiwis through CCUSA. And they've had the most amazing experience every year with you as their director. So it's been great.
Thank you.
Now, a couple other things, just for those that aren't aware, you would go over on what's called the Camp Counselor J1 visa. So it'll match your work dates at camp. And then you also get 30 days to travel before camp starts. And you get 30 days to travel afterwards as well. You get food, you get accommodation included. You're going to make $2,000 for the 9 weeks of work, which kind of offsets the cost of the program. And then on top of that, you're going to make all these amazing friends from around the globe that you can go and visit and see, and these friendships that will definitely last a lifetime, 100%. Tom, any other words of advice before we maybe throw it out and have some see if anyone's got any questions? Any other suggestions for coming to work at camp?
Just be yourself. I'll be honest with you, I came into today a little bit nervous, okay, I have to do this little presentation and stuff, and that's natural, so don't worry about that. Just come and show us who you really are, and show us what you have to offer. We will share with you what we have, and it's teamwork. You're not in this alone, and hopefully I'm not in this alone, or me and Adam are not in this alone. We want to work with you as a team, because we'll just all do that much better. And I say this to the staff when they get there at camp. Our doors are always open for you as well. You are going to be far away from home, and we want to be there to support you, whatever's going on in your daily life. So, recognize that we know that we want to take care of you. The better we take care of you, we know the better you're going to take care of the kids that are at camp as well.
Absolutely. We might open it up. Does anyone have any questions or anything that they'd like to ask? No? Wow, we must have done too good a job there, Tom and Adam.
We're professionals here.
Exactly. Except for that little, internet glitch, that was fine.
Well, look, IT people.
No, exactly. So, all right. Well, look, bear with me. I'm just going to stop our live stream. So give me a minute.